Hello everyone, my name is Jide. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I talk about life in Canada. I also talk about mindset. So if you are very conversant with my channel, you will discover that about 7 to 8 months ago, I talked about how difficult it was for me to get my license in Canada, my driver's license, because I could not get my Nigerian driver's license to use, because immediately I got to Canada, my Nigerian driver's license expired. I said earlier on that if you are relocating to Canada from Nigeria, make sure you add a valid driver's license, because you're going to need it to get your driver's license in Canada. Because one thing is that it will not be nice to have a driving experience back home. Some of you are coming to Canada with 5, 6, 7, 10 years of driving experience back in Nigeria. Those experience are not wasted. They can actually factor it into your driver's license application in Canada, such that after getting your G1 license, you could immediately apply for your G license, because in Canada you cannot do without a reliable transport. So one of the things that makes your settling down in Canada interesting and easy is the ability to have a driver's license and ability to get a car and drive within the shortest possible period of time. Although there is bus transportation system which enables people to go to work even when they don't have their car, but I want to tell you, there's nothing as good as having your private car or your own car in Canada and having the flexibility to drive yourself to work. Okay, and there are many things to explore in Canada. In Ontario, where I am, there are many locations, many tourist centers, things that I want to get done personally, that having going by bus will not be possible or will not be easy. So when I came to Canada, I had the challenge of getting my Ontario driver's license, because I had some issues which I want to talk about of how I solved it in this video. I know many of you are having difficulty in getting on your driver's license in Ontario. So this video is designed to answer some of the critical questions that you've been asking about getting your driver's license in Ontario, Canada, where currently I live in Ontario, Canada. So I am talking about Ontario, getting your driver's license in Ontario now. So the process of getting your driver's license in other provinces may be slightly different from Ontario, but I'm sure it will be related. So you could just do your further research based on the information I'm going to share now about getting your driver's license in Ontario. So if you are considering getting your driver's license in other provinces in Canada. So if you are having challenges getting your driver's license in Ontario, this video is for you. So hopefully I'll be able to answer every question you might have currently about getting your driver's license in Canada. One thing you have to know is that you have to have a valid driver's license from Nigeria. If you check my channel, I did some video about 8 or 9 months ago of my challenges and what I wish I had knew before coming to Canada. Although at the time I came to Canada, my driver's license was not expired, but it was going to expire about like in 2 weeks time. So if I had known, I would have been able to utilize my license before it expired. One thing is that if you have an expired license, it's going to be acceptable. Okay, and as at that time, the Ontario government was still accepting in its drive test center, they were still accepting the extract, the driver's extract from Federal Road Safety Commission in Nigeria. But as at today, the process have changed. Many of you are not aware of the changes that has happened in getting your Ontario driver's license. So some people still think that the Nigeria's driver's license extract from FRSC is still valid. No, it is no longer valid. But as of February, March 2024, it was still valid. But later on, as at now that I'm shooting this video, December 2024, The Drive Test Center, the Ministry of Transport, and in Ontario no longer accept the the driver's extracts. So they now require you to get an authorization letter, okay, from the embassy. Okay, you are now required to get an authorization from the um, uh, embassy in Nigerian embassy here in Ottawa, Canada. So this is how you are going to go about it. So if you have an experience from Nigeria, 5 years experience, and you also have a valid driver's license, that is how all you need to start doing the processing of getting your full driver's license. So in Ontario, there are 3 levels of license that you can have. We have the G1, we have the G2, and we also have the G. G1 is for beginners. So you cannot drive with you can only drive with G1 when an experienced driver is sitting by your side. You are not able to drive on your own. So G1 is practically not useful for you to drive a car in Canada. It's for beginners. But from G2, if you have G2, which is next to G1, you'll be able to drive on your own. But then it won't give you the full benefit of a full G. For example, if you are planning to drive Uber, to use your car for Uber, for Lyft, you will not be able to use a G2 to drive Uber. But if you have a full G license, if you want to do business with your car as a Uber driver, you will be able to do it. So the full G is a third level, which gives you all the affordability, it gives you the full authority to drive a car. You are not restricted in any form. So once you have a car, you can use it for any business you want. You can even drive a cargo van with a G license. So G license gives you the full flexibility and the room, okay, for driving. So you can drive on the highway, you can drive at any time, you can drive in the day, you can drive in the night. That is what G. So what I encourage new immigrants, Nigerian immigrants in Canada to go for is their full G license. And this is how you get your full G. These are the requirements for getting your full G license. The first thing is that you must have a valid Nigerian driver's license. Once you have a valid Nigerian driver's license, you will go to the website of Nigerian High Commission. I'm going to put the link on this video so that you can see it and visit it. So once I put the link on this video, or I will either put it in this video in the comments box or anywhere on the video for you to see. So you go to Nigerian High Commission website. So once you navigate it, you will get to the point where you can apply for driver's license. So driver's letter, sorry. So once you apply, that is on that website, you will apply for the driver's letter. So all the requirements you will need to apply for the driver's letter is on the Nigerian High Commission's website. So one of the requirements is your valid Nigerian driver's license. So your valid Nigerian driver's license is one of the requirements that Nigerian High Commission would require to issue you a driver's letter. So once you check the website, once you gather all the requirements. So once you gather all the requirements, you'll be required to send all the requirements to the High Commission in Ottawa. So once you send it, you'll be required to send it to Canada Post, and it's a return. It will be a return shipping package. That is one that you will pay for the sending and the returning. So you are going to pay for the sending and the returning of the license of the application, so that once they get the application in Ottawa in their headquarters, they will work on it and they will also send it back to you. Now another question, the one question that Nigerians that I've met ask is, how long does it take to get a feedback from Nigerian High Commission after you must have applied for the Nigeria's driver's letter in Ottawa? It varies. For some people it's 1 month, for some people it's 2 months, for some people it's 6 months. Okay, currently Canada Post just ended its strike. So the strike extended the period for some people. Okay, so things like that come up that extend it, although it is written on the website that it doesn't take more than 15 days, but in reality it might take longer than 15 days. So it's important for you to prepare your mind for the length of time it might take. I think mine took about 1 month and a half, okay, to get a reply, to get the letter sent to me after I applied. So yours could be less, yours could be shorter, yours could be longer. So you prepare your mind after applying for driver's letter at Nigerian High Commission. So once you go through the website, which I'm going to post in the comment box or in the description of this video, go through it. You'll be required to pay certain amounts. You'll be required to submit your passport. You'll be required to submit your Nigerian driver's license. So make sure you have all those documents and requirements and ship it, send it to Nigerian High Commission and wait for when they will return it to a valid Canadian address that you include in the process. So make sure you have a valid Canadian address to which they can send the driver's letter to when it is ready. So once you have the driver's letter, you will take it to the drive test center in your location, your city in Ontario. I think every major city in Canada, every major city in Ontario has a drive test center. So all you just do is to Google the drive test center nearest to you. Even if you don't have in your city, go to Google, search for the drive test center nearest to you. So take the drive test letter, the driver's letter that the Nigerian High Commission gave to you. Take it to the drive test center. That is after you must have gotten your G1. Okay, because you cannot use that letter if you have not gotten your G1. So after you've gotten your G1, that's when you do this process. So that driver's letter that you get, you will take it there, and then you will tell them that you want to obtain your G license, that they should help you factor in your experience that you already have from Nigeria, driving from so number of years into your record, and that you want to take your G test. Okay, because if you don't request for that, they would automatically assume that you want to take a G2 test. But the good thing is that you have an experience, and Nigerian High Commission has already written a letter to that effect that you have that number of years of experience. So what is required of you is to tell them at the drive test center that you want to write your G test. So once you have your drive test letter, your experience will be factored into your application and you will be booked for G test, which is very simple, okay, and straightforward. So I was able to move from G1 to G, okay, because I had experience back in Nigeria driving, and I was able to get my driver's letter from Ottawa. So it is very easy and straightforward. Now let me talk about how I now prepared for my G test. So I had to book like 2 or 3 lessons. I got a driving instructor. So it is important that if you want to write your G test, because the failure rate of G, okay, the failure rate of people writing G test from G1 is very high, because there is usually a significant difference between the way we drive in Nigeria and the way we drive in Canada. So you must be able, I wouldn't encourage you to just go ahead and prepare for G test as if you are preparing for a normal driving test. The failure rate is high. So you would like to get a driving instructor to take 1 or 2 or 3 lessons to familiarize you with what you are going to be tested on in G. Don't write your G test blindly. Go to the YouTube, find G test videos, test drive the route that is commonly used in your location, in your city, and make sure you are familiar with it, such that by the time you are going to write your G test, you already know the route, you already know what the examiner is going to ask for. So I don't want this video to be too long, so I think I'm going to break it at this point and continue in another part, where I'm going to tell you the details of how I prepared for my G test and I was able to ace it at the first attempt. So thank you for watching this video. So this video is basically to summarize how, as a Nigerian, if you have a driving experience back in Nigeria and now you're in Canada, you can from G1 prepare and get your G license straight without having to spend time at G2. So with your driving experience, you can book for your G and then write the exam and then pass it. So thank you very much for this video. I hope I'll be able to answer one or two questions about getting your driving license in Canada. If you still have questions, comment it in the box below, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. So thank you. If you love this content, please do like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Do have a wonderful time. Bye.